What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here with another Retcon team counter. Do apologize here as it is a bit redundant, as it is the same, basically the same team I've been using in some of my previous videos here, and of course as well. I know that some people have had concerns about this counter because it is also dependent on the size of your Odin as well, because of course, he needs to survive in order for him to do his basics, so that he can basically apply his battlefield effect to the battle. And then, of course, as well, having him at maxed tier 20. He's also level 105. So I guess technically, I guess I don't have a maxed on levels there, but yeah, he is level 4 ISO 8 as well, barrier for extra protection, and of course as well. He is kind of the piece that makes the whole team come together here. I also got a few comments as well here regarding the fact that I wasn't using them on big enough Retcon teams. And also, I want to apologize about that because, yeah, unfortunately, with our War Shard, it is kind of dependent on who we face up against. And our War Shards, I think we're in Platinum 3, which isn't super competitive. But we do come across the occasional bigger teams, and yeah, this time around we were able to get some footage, at least of some bigger-ish Retcon teams, and hopefully I can show you guys how this works. But I do want to kind of go over a couple key pieces here, because I didn't do that in my previous videos, and I do also want to apologize about that as well. Lots of apologies here. So again, Odin is kind of the main piece for this combo to work. Also, as well, we are going to need Valkyrie in here. The reason being is because of her passive. You need to have her passive because of the fact that when an Asgardian dies, there's a 50% chance to perform the following actions. So again, this is important because we want to clear the negatives. If we're able to get Safeguard on Odin, that also means he won't be able to get stunned. And then, of course, as well, if he is lucky enough to get some of the following positives. So if he's able to get the Safeguard, if he's able to get the immunity in place, then everything just kind of comes all together, and it will work out. And of course, the last and final piece of this three-piece Asgardian team that's kind of like in my head required is Thunderstrike himself. He is also a hero Asgardian, and of course as well, he's important for this because of his passive, which basically allows him that when he gets to his turn, he's going to heal himself for a set amount of health, 20%, whatever. And then if he has charged, then he can barrier himself or an Asgardian ally for 10% of this character's max health as well. So this is important because on the initial wave of attacks from the Retcon teams, we need just as much help as we can, right? So having him either as as a healer or even as a as a barrier, that's going to help. I don't even know if I've ever used him as a fortifier, actually, now that I see it here. But yeah, that's going to help give him a little bit more buff to Odin as well, because Odin's kind of he's the main piece that makes this entire team come together like glue. And without Odin, you can't take down the Retcon teams, at least not the bigger ones. Not without a sack wave. I've been able to do it with some sack waves, and I've been kind of testing around, but those are kind of the three core pieces that you'll need here. And yeah, let's quickly dive into the gameplay so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, as you guys can kind of see here, we have a very decently sized Retcon team, or at least in my opinion, I think it's decently sized. And yeah, we'll jump in here quickly. Yeah, there's a few tier 20s I can see here, and for sure, as the game goes here, we're gonna be running more and more into these bigger sized Jeff and Retcon teams, and of course as well because they are needed for the next battle world, and of course as well for Maestro unlock. It does not surprise me that people are starting to pump these guys up. So yeah, for sure we have to be ready on one-shot counters, and of course as well it does suck. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the fact that we have to use Odin on these teams soaks up Odin when he can be used for other sections of the game, right? So I mean, obviously you kind of have to weigh out the pros and the cons. But yeah, the Retcon team is, in my opinion, right now, I think they're probably the best team right now on defense. I think they're better than Winter Guard. Winter Guard, yeah, I could still find ways across Winter Guard, but yeah, there is only like 1 or 2 counters I can use on the Retcon. So that's just my opinion. So again, we're gonna jump in here, and as I already said, Odin is going to be our main. He's gonna be basically our our quarterback for this. We need him. We need to have Thunderstrike as well here for the extra little buffs, and then the other three Asgardians. We need Valkyrie as well, but the other two don't really matter. You could probably, I don't know, just you could probably put in, honestly, you could put in anybody, but it has to be an Asgardian, and do make it so that they're a hero, so that way there's that increased chance. We're gonna have Cosmic Ghost Rider here because he prevents the slow. When he prevents the slow, it also makes our team not as slow, I guess. So we get more turn on the speed bar, and yeah, of course, as you guys see here, no surprises. Everybody kind of dies within the first attack, and yeah, you really have to just wait until it's either Thunderstrike. I think Thunderstrike gets his turn before Odin does. And when it gets to Odin's, or no, maybe Odin's faster. Sorry, excuse me. Odin's faster. So we get to Odin's basic, and this is what we want. We got some immunity, we got some buffs. Unfortunately, Thunderstrike, he was the recipient of the safeguard and not Odin. Would have been nice if Odin got the safeguard, but that's not a bad thing. We can throw the ult here, and yeah, as you guys can kind of see here, the battle is fairly quick, fairly short. Yeah, because it ends up just being basically we just need to get Odin to his first turn here, and of course, don't be afraid here, even when he has like a whole bunch of bleed and stuff. Like I said, the only bad thing is he's stunned. If he's not stunned, it makes things a little bit easier. But if he is stunned, yeah, he can't heal himself. So you want to make sure if you can't get in the first go around against this size of a team, it may be a good idea to just throw a sack wave to guarantee the success of it. Or if you have some good luck, you may not need to. Or what you can also do is you can just reset it and try again here. If you're really going for that one shot and you're just stubborn like me sometimes, for sure it'll work. It's just gonna take a little more time, and it is like I said, it does work. It's just it just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of timing, and again as well, keep in mind my Odin's 1 diamond, right? So if you've got a weaker Odin, if you got lower stars on him, if you don't have diamonds on him, that may be an issue. However, having said that, they did have that Odin heist and that Odin leaderboard event, and they basically just gave out the 7 reds and the 6 reds if you partook in the event. So hopefully you guys got him. If not, yeah, try to see if he pops into the red star and maybe promote him that way as well here. Maybe we'll get another Odin heist coming back here because Xavier had his. But yeah, hopefully that has made sense. Wow, this loading screen is taking forever. I don't know why it's taking so long here. Just a really slow, I guess. But anyways, yeah, so that was that in a nutshell. Hopefully that made sense. We're going to quickly just dive into one of my other counters here. Not as big as the 13 mil team, but still decently sized. And of course, we have our boy Xavier leading the charge for us there. Okay, so the other counter involves basically my Professor X. He is, again, not everyone's going to have Professor X, so I don't like to showcase this team because of the fact that not a lot of people have Xavier unlocked just yet, or they're getting closer to him, but he does work. And we do use 3-piece Annihilators with Phoenix. I don't know if the 5th one really matters. I'm just trying out Phoenix here because I haven't tried it out before, and again as well, she's good because I think she should do the death and bring out Phoenix. I'm not 100% sure here, but Xavier's good because of the fact that he can prevent a lot of that speed on the opposing team here, so he does actually give our team a turn. Right, and Thanos is nice as well because of the fact that he does his release, he cleanses, and then of course as well he's got the stun and the ult if he makes it to his turn. But as you guys can kind of see here, we do, and yeah, he's able to. We're not going to stun Jeff because we're going to throw Xavier's blind on Jeff, so it does not make sense to stack everything on Jeff. But we will we'll put it adjacently on Deadpool because Deadpool's a pain in the arse, and of course as well out of the reworked characters here, I feel like he has the most impact because of the fact that he can cleanse our negatives. So yeah, pretty much when we get to Xavier's turn, we just do, we do what Xavier does, right? And then of course we bring out the Cyclops, and then yeah, your first priority is just taking care of the Jeff the Land Shark because yeah, he is really like their meaty quarterback here, and yeah, just get rid of him and everything is smoother, right? So make sure you focus on Jeff, and then yeah, everything else should just come together once Jeff is down. Yeah, Xavier's ult is gonna pack a punch as well here, his special and his ult. There's a reason why everyone wants Xavier, and it's no different here. Unfortunately, just like in the previous case here with the Odin example, we do lose the use of our Xavier and our Odin when we have to use them on these Retcon teams, right? And of course, that's the strategy here, right? How many players can waste those very key characters, right? But I feel like they have to, because these Retcon guys, they're tough. They're tough, and they're probably, in my opinion, probably the best defensive team right now. Like, Jeff's not even complete yet, and we still run into so many issues here with the Retcon teams. Like again, this is just a 10 mil team. It's not supersized or anything by any means, but I mean, my goodness gracious, you can see here that the team definitely is very powerful. And that's about it. That's all I got for this one for you guys. Hopefully this has helped you guys out. Hopefully this has given you guys a little bit of insight on what I'm using. Apologies again, like I said, I can only test what I see in war, and again, sometimes maybe these teams are smaller than what you guys are facing against, but we are not crazy competitive in war. We're usually facing, I've been seeing larger and larger Jeff teams, which is nice, but I've still yet to see any ones larger than 14 mil or 13 mil. They only come periodically, and of course as well, when they do pop up, I will definitely for sure 100% test that for you guys to see what works and what doesn't work, because I also want to make sure that we can counter these guys effectively, and I'm telling you guys right now, like, this team is they're not even complete yet, right? Like, once Jeff is like in diamonds, I don't know if this will work, right? I don't know if this is going to work with a 7 red Jeff, right? But we'll continue to test and see what works and what doesn't work. And if it requires a sack wave, perhaps that is the way, right? That is the way it goes. Always appreciate you guys' time. Always appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in on this. And of course, as well, feel free to chime in if you have any questions or concerns, or if you have any better counters for this. I'm happy to hear that out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.